So this is what it feels like, right? Before I start, I apologize if I stop at any moment. I made us wear these cat toys, so. Sorry if I put you to sleep too. I'm boring. Sorry. Without further ado, let me get started. Good morning, faculty, staff, friends, honored guests, and good morning to the class of 2015. One of my favorite movies growing up was Chicken Little. Yes. For those who have not read the children's book or seen the movie, Chicken Little is about a misfit chicken that mistakes an acorn for hitting him on the head for a piece of the sky falling. When he thought the sky was falling, he panicked. No one believed him and people thought he was crazy. However, when the sky is actually falling, him and his friends saved the day. Growing up and going to public school, I felt like Chicken Little. The sky was falling and I knew it. But those experiences were just acorns. One of the major acorns falling on my head daily was how I got the special treatment of being put in a room with other ADD and dyslexic kids, segregating us from the class because we learned differently. I was coming to Eagle Hill, where at a class of 400 students, there were only 10 of us with ADD. It was that treatment that made me want to hide my ADD. It was that treatment that made me not want to care about school. I used to not complete homework assignments and class assignments and tell my parents, it's okay, they think I'm stupid anyways. When I first knew that I was going to Eagle Hill, I thought my sky had truly fallen and I would not enjoy a single minute of my Eagle Hill experience. My mom explained to me that at Eagle Hill there would be a whole school full of kids just like me. My first thought was, oh my God. They put me in a room with the other ADD school. Now they're sending me to a full school full of these kids. But as time went on, I took time to listen to my parents and approach the school with optimism. When I first arrived at campus, I was nervous about not making any friends and no one talking to me. But before I could even step into the culture center, I was greeted by Danny Feinblatt and Romney Kapoor. And before I knew it, I was in a conversation with Joe Forrest, then Alan Caesarman, and Brett Fenton, Max Mazurchek, and so on and so on. By the end of orientation, my parents had to pry me away from my future friends so that I could come back and move in the next day. At that point, I was ready to say goodbye to my parents and start my journey at Eagle Hill. As I walked into my first class the next morning, which was seminar on learning with Ms. Eubanks, I was extremely nervous for what was to come. I didn't quite know what to do because my experience before with teachers had been negative. I didn't know how teachers would handle kids like me who had ADD. Of course forgetting, Eagle Hill was designed for kids like me. I explained to Ms. Eubanks how I felt about being at Eagle Hill. She then assured me my sky had not fallen yet. Over the course of my freshman year, I would go on to build relationships with students and teachers. Eagle Hill provided me with the student-teacher relationships that I needed. For the first time in my educational career, I felt like my teachers cared about me, and I had some type of guidance. I really feel as if there is no student-teacher divide. Student or teacher, we're all part of the Eagle Hill community. A dodgeball-sized acorn by the name of math had been hitting me in my head since the 6th grade. I'm sure I'm not the only one. We've all been there. We've all had our various subjects and courses where we've struggled to do well. However, the side of the acorn shrunk to a pebble when I took math at Eagle Hill. My teachers refused to give up on me even when I gave up on the work. They sat with me for hours at a time and made sure that I was in a position to be successful. In fact, each day, they make sure we're all put in a position to be successful. That's how I felt in all of my classes. No matter what class or subject, whenever I felt that my sky is falling, my teachers helped me sort out the acorns from the sky. I realized my sky was where it needed to be when during my sophomore year, I conducted 2 interviews in front of the entire school. I remember my journalism teacher, Mr. Knozik, asked me if I wanted to do the interviews, and I could not have said yes any quicker. If anyone had told me in the 8th grade, in a few years, you would interview a former VP editor from ESPN and a world-renowned chef, I probably would have laughed. I found out by asking for help and feeling confident about my abilities, I would be able to do anything. I was able to conduct the interviews with ease. At that point, I was at the highest point I had ever been in my academics. Taking that momentum into junior year was exactly what I had needed. My sky was a clear, deep blue, full of white, puffy clouds, kind of like the one today. Until about Thanksgiving year, that was when I had lost my grandfather. That was when I lost my grandfather, or when both of my parents working, I would go to my grandfather's house and spend time with him after school. I love my grandfather. He did so much for me. He would read to me, he would always make sure I'm doing well in school, and he'd make the best food in the world. We had gotten so close that when he passed, I actually thought I lost a piece of me. And this time for sure, I thought my sky had fallen. Anyone who knew my grandfather knew that the most important thing to him was a good education. He'd always say to me, if you don't have an education, then what do you really have? After the funeral service, my father reminded me that Grandpa would have wanted me to just continue to do well in school. My sky was pushed back into place with the academic and social support I received not only from my family, but my Eagle Hill family. That was solidified with the passing of our friend, the late Antoine Capitani. I remember when the news broke, I was sitting alone in the dining hall, where Dr. McDonald saw me and asked me if I was okay. I told him that I was sad, but I would be okay. Dr. McDonald hugged me and kissed me on the forehead and told me that he loved me. At that moment, I truly knew that this was my school. I've built relationships with people that I do not want to let go of. I've never met people so thoughtful, so helpful, and so willing to think about others. At times, it's frightening. Throughout my time at Eagle Hill, I've made friends that have turned into brothers and sisters. I've gotten closer to some of my teachers than I ever thought I would have. Life is about building relationships, putting the right supporting cast around you so that you can succeed. Surround yourself with people that will help you reach your goals while you help them reach theirs. Together, you will realize that when things get rough, your sky isn't falling. You're just dealing with a few acorns. My fellow seniors, not every moment here was positive. We've all had our trials and tribulations, but some bigger than others, but we've all helped each other get here. We're all part of the same community, and we have been since that first day of orientation. As we continue into college, it's important to realize that these relationships will propel us towards success. Having the right people around us will improve our strength and resilience, which are important traits to have. I'd like to end with a quote. Whenever I feel like my sky is falling, there's a song I listen to. It's by an artist by the name of Kid Cudi. And it's from his song titled The Sky Might Fall. It goes, the sky might fall, but I'm not worried at all. I've learned how memory works, and it's the last thing said that is usually the message that sticks. I've mentioned some of my experiences, but I want us to remember our journey as a community and as a class. Looking back at our senior trip to Florida, during these final weeks of school, I treasure the moment that I spend with other seniors and as a class as a whole. As a class of 2015, I'm proud to come together for one last time, and I'm also proud to have known you all and see you all grow as people. Look at where we are now. We're here. Yeah, all right. Senior prank. Our skies are probably in place above our heads. I have not have done this without you all, and as a class, I'm sure we feel the same way about each other. We worked together, we grew together, and we conquered together. Right from when we stepped on campus today, we've all given our families reason to hold their heads up with pride. We're all lucky to have been part of such a beautiful community and experience. Congratulations and best of luck to each and every one of you. And this is the message that I hope sticks. We couldn't have done this alone. No one should have to do it alone. And we didn't do it alone. No matter what acorns come our way, we are the class of 2015. Thank you.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, your fellow classmates, and everyone in this audience, I'd like to present you with this little memento. It says Kendall Clark, Student Commencement Speaker, Eagle Hill School, June 6, 2015. We can't thank you enough.